Hi, I'm Greg Abramowitz, owner of Unique Environments and your host today. Today I'll be showing you how to dress up an older home by 1, giving it a facelift, and 2, designing a new entry. So come along. So here's the house, not much of a street presence. The door is hidden, chimney's too tall and skinny. There's no entranceway really to speak of. Surveying level. You're exactly on 50, right there. Okay, here's our lot on the assessor's map. It says the width of the street. We're going to go verify at the site, make sure that the actual property line is right at the sidewalk. Okay, so as you see, we've got the as-built drawn here. Let's see what we can come up with. Here's the as-built that we're starting with, and here's what we came up with as our first draft to show the clients. One of the key features is going to be what sort of an entry we do here. Right now we've got this long line, the front fascia, which we're going to want to modify a bit. We will keep the fascia the same over the garage, but the rest of it may change. We may even cut it back over here where the fireplace is. Okay, we want as wide an entry as we can get, but we have a problem here. We got a niche in the architecture here, so we want to come over at least this far so the water doesn't pour down into this little hole, but if we match that on the other side, we're going to be blocking the window. So let's see what solution we can come up with. So how's that drawing coming out? What is it about high speed that just makes it look so cool? As you can see, I still work on the boards. Obviously, I'm not afraid of computers. I made this video myself. But when it comes to designing, it's best to always work on the boards and not actually design on a computer. It's okay to use the computer to do drawings after it's designed, or computers are really helpful when you're doing repetitive work and doing small modifications to projects where you start with something and just do changes. But if you're designing something from scratch, you want to work on the boards like you see I'm doing here. When we start designing a project, I always advise my clients never to design to their budget and always design to their wish list. Now that may sound a little bit strange, but the reason that you do that is you can design the wish list and build it according to the budget in phases. If we're doing, let's say, a landscape design, and one day the client might want a little fountain over there, or they're thinking about putting in an exterior heater over the patio, if they don't have the budget for that now, we still draw everything into the plans. That way, when we're laying our sprinkler lines, we can drop in an empty conduit over to where that future fountain might be. The trench was already dug. All the work is free. All you're doing is dropping in $10 worth of conduit, and you can have that in when you're ready to do the project later. Same thing with if you're going to have a heater. When we're running the barbecue gas line, we'll just stub out at a location where they can later put a heater. That way you keep all the costs in check. The best way to keep your project costs under control is to have an extremely thorough design that covers every possible option. That way, if something is not there, it's by choice that it was eliminated, not by oversight. You know, it doesn't always cost more to build a good design than it does to build a bad one. Sometimes it might even cost less. As you can see over here, I'm drawing up the garage plan, and you can see we put stone all along the front of the building. But on the garage I did a little bit lower. Not only will that cost a little less, but proportionally the sides of the garage on both sides are very tall and thin. And if you keep it very tall, then a masonry structure is going to look like it's going to tip over if you make it like a column. So to give the garage the proper mass that we're looking for, I kept it very low along there, which not only will look better, but it'll save you money. Well, there you have it. Let's take a look at some of the changes that we've made. We've added stonework all along the bottom of the structure. We cut the eave back. We added the shade structure in front of the fireplace, and then another, it's not a full shade structure, but there's a little trellis work above the garage door to get some greenery up there. The shade structures help reduce the visual amount of roofing available on that lower level. When we started out, it was just a long roof area with nothing happening, and all you saw was roof on the house. By cutting it back and adding these shade structures, we've minimized the impact of the roof. We added the entryway. We added a skylight over the entryway so that front door will be just glowing and inviting all day long. We also added a detail over the center of the garage door up in the upper level because we had that long empty area with nothing happening there. Inside the house there were closets there, so we couldn't add windows, so we did a false vent in that little circular area there just to give it a little bit of a detail, so it helps balance the fact that everything was happening over on this side of the house and nothing was happening over there. We added a tile recess area with a planter right on the fireplace itself to help minimize the mass. Typically you won't see a fireplace on the front of a house, it's usually on the side or the back. So that was a main feature that we had to deal with, and we ended up doing a tile inset there. Likewise, over here I matched the tile inset in the siding because the garage door was asymmetrical on either side, and so in the larger area by the front door I added a space for an address tile. Well, that covers everything we did on this project. Come join us again and see us on our next episode. Thanks for joining us. To see all the things we do, log on to uniqueluxuryenvironments.com. This is Greg Abramowitz. Thanks for watching.